If you would like to make this lovely cushion for your son or your daughter's bedroom, or a baby, as a gift for a baby, then I'm going to show you how. These are some others that I've made, just to give you an example of them finished. I do have an embroidery machine, so obviously you've got this on here, but you can imagine it with it gone. I'm going to talk you through how to make this with no fasteners, no zips, very straightforward cushion cover that you can make yourself at home. I'm going to start off with a piece of plain material, which is going to be the centerpiece. I've cut this out ready. It measures 11 inches by 11 inches, and then that will allow for the seams. Then you choose a nice border. You can choose whatever one you want. I've got different samples here of different borders I've used over the time. I've used owls, or I have used the giraffes. Today I'm going to show you using the seaside motif, the boats. What you have to do, whatever motif you decide to go for, you decide that if you're going to use a giraffe, your giraffe is your centerpiece. If you're going to use an owl, your owl might be your centerpiece, and then you put that on in felt or contrasting colours. You're going to cut your border out 2.5 inches wide, and the bottom pieces to go along the bottom edge are going to be 15 inches long, and then the pieces that come up here are going to be 11 inches long. Now when you cut out your border, you might like to think about whether you want, how you want this to look along the bottom. So I want the lighthouses and the boats to be going up right here, but down the edge I want to cut them going that way. I also want to maximise my piece of material. So I'm now going to cut those strips, as I say, along here and up there, ready to put the border. Where I'm at now with this design is, I've got the borders just laying around the edge of the blue centerpiece, and I've cut out a boat or a sailing ship. I could have gone for the lighthouse, or I could have gone for the tugs, but I decided I wanted to actually have a sailing ship in there, a yacht. So I popped that one in, and I've cut it out of paper. I'm now going to cut those into some felt shapes, because felt is so easy to sew on. You don't need to have any interfacing. You don't need to worry too much about the edges, because it won't fray. Do, however, make sure your felt has already been pre-shrunk and any dye has been washed out. Most felt nowadays does come already pre-washed and pre-shrunk. However, do just check that, because you won't want the colours running into your lovely design. So you can now see that I've cut out my felt pieces. I've got red, white, blue. You can have carte blanche, whatever colours you want. This is the wonderful part about this part. You can have it smaller, you can have it larger, you can have two. The other thing I have done in the past, which works very well, is to cut a piece of material. I've just folded this because I don't actually want to cut it. But you can cut a piece of material and pop that in the middle. So then that way on you get that effect. And this is very, very easy to do. Once you've cut your piece of material a little bit bigger than you want, just iron it under, sew it down, and you just sew it on the frame. It's a very, very, very quick way of doing it for making your cushion cover, and very effective. But today I want to go for the boat. So I'm going to iron all my pieces now, position them exactly where I want them, be really sure that's where I want them to go, and then start sewing. Pop your side pieces on first before the top and bottom, and make it a lot easier for you. We have the border on now. I'm going to position my pieces of felt and then start sewing. This part you can play around, put them exactly where you want, get design crazy. I'm ready to go, but I'm going to do the blue piece first because I want the red stitching to go over the top of the blue to make it look like this is the pole that's the sails are holding onto. Now I've got a nice embroidery stitch on my sewing machine. I'm very lucky. Some people do have this, some people don't. You don't have to do this at the end, but it just gives a nice wave effect. I've got variated sewing thread, and I'm just running along here and just popping some waves on the bottom of the bow just to make it look like it's in the sea. And because I'm using the varied thread, you get the white and the blue, and it looks like waves. Okay, I'm using the same stitch. I've added a bird. You can see the tailor's chalk underneath there. I'm going to add 2 more. You don't have to do that. This is just me because I'm just trying to make it add little bits and pieces. That's what I mean. It's all your own creativity. It looks lovely with or without the bird. I've folded it over, ironed it, folded it again, ironed it, and I'm now going to stitch that. Next you cut a strip of material. You can contrast it with blue, another colour, because this is going to be your flap down piece. Different designs on different colours. Again, it's back to your creativity, but you need to cut a piece about 6 inches deep and the width of the actual cushion, and then again you're going to need to fold this over and hem. Next we take our little piece of material that we've already got, hemmed edge facing upwards, and we need to sew it along this edge. So you've sewn this on. You then take your back of your cushion cover, you pop it down with the hemmed edge forward, and you're now going to sew all the way around the edge. Now I'm going to sew this bit first, overlock the ends, because this is going to take quite a bit of pulling and pushing in a minute, and make sure you don't miss that in there. That's got to be laying in there. Make sure when you sew you don't actually miss catching it in, otherwise it's not going to work. And you just sew down the edge. Finally, you have to just nip the corners because that stops the bulk. Alright, so you just nip all the corners. Be careful with this one here. Get rid of any bulk that you can. I've already done them. So all 4 corners are done. You turn it in the other way with the point of your scissors very gently. This is the bit you don't want to go through the material, otherwise all your hard work's undone. Just tease out the corner, and you do that with all of the corners. And then this bit here, this is the bit you're folding it back in like this, teasing that corner, folding it back again here at this point here. Get your finger in there on that corner, folding it, tease it out, and then you have the part where you can pop your cushion in. You haven't had to use any zips, any fasteners, any ribbons and bows, and there is your cushion cover. I'm just going to pop a pad in now. We'll see what it looks like. Give it an iron first and then pop the pad in. So here we have our finished cushion. I'm ever so pleased with it. I'm actually liking the red with the red contrast. It's nice and easy to pop the cushion in, and you can pop it up there. I'm showing it you there, but in a chair it looks lovely. These are other ones that I've done, other ideas I've had working with the owls. I know I've got a special goal, so I've got the embroidery machine, so I was just playing around with it. But there I've used the same material and I've cut out the square and popped that in. So there's another idea, exactly the same principle. This time I've used the back, the white as the back. Again, it's just a cushion popped in. Here's another one, showing you that material earlier on with the giraffes. I've just cut the giraffe out of felt, just zigzagged him all the way around. Very small zigzag stitch on this one. You don't, if you haven't got the embroidery machine to this, it doesn't matter, you don't have to have a special boy. It's just to give you ideas. And here's another one with the lions, just with love. But again, you don't need to have that. Or again, you could pick a line out and have that in the centre. I hope you've enjoyed watching this tutorial, this video. And thank you very much for tuning in.